Hello, my people. I've hit that fluffy time, grumpy time. Just sort of, I must be bipolar because I'm so snappy? I guess so. I guess that's what you call it. I was watching Nora earlier and she was actually making me laugh. Because Rebecca Minkoff is not a luxury designer. She is a middle-class designer. I know they seem expensive, but they're not in the real luxury world. So I like how they're trying to pull off her luxury brand. No, she's made enough money to become a real housewife, but her stuff is not real luxury. I have at least one Rebecca Minkoff bag that I got like 10 years ago, I think. If I haven't given it away, because I give away bags when I know I'm never going to use them, or never going to use them again, or whatever, I might let Nora have it so she can destroy it. I don't know if I really want to wait 2 years before I can put it on the Real and sell it through there. I don't think it's a really pretty one either. I think it's hideous. You know, we all have our hideous times in our lives, and when I was princess, plain pretty princess, I had an ugly time. So I have usually given all those purses away, but I think when I was going through it last time, I have a bunch, that I had already been watching Scientology feeds, so I might have kept it as a joke because I'd heard the rumors. So we'll see if I still have it. If I do, then it'll be fun. There's a plaque here. Let's see. On this site in the mid-1850s, Francois L.A. Pioche built an office building which housed the banking firm of Pioche et Baruch, one of the most important financial institutions in the West during the 2 decades after the gold rush. Okay, so it's gold rush stuff. So, I don't know if it's the same building. I doubt it, knowing them or knowing us. So,
and there's sort of be a fight, and my guess is...
let's see how much fun they're going to have with me. There's everything set up, especially considering I washed my car yesterday. It's now a beautiful bright color. So I don't think they could have missed it. Let's see if they did. But we're going to take the long way anyway. So I want to get my steps in. How's that for an answer? So, let's see. Dead air. Watching the Francois interview again today with ASL. I just feel bad for Daniel now because she was such a steamroller on him, and being a person who knew or thought that I'd never be on again, he can come on again. It's not that hard. Just ignore the trolls. Do what I did. I just deleted them off my feed. It's not worth it. But yeah, it's not a horrible interview. It's just that she just grabbed you, twirled you around her little finger and just ran with it. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. You didn't know what you were getting. So give them some slack, guys. I don't know how even I'd react if she came that way. I would have responded better to the sweethearts that she said, so, or less giving about them. But she definitely did a run over you, love bomb you, and make you look inefficient. So we'll see what happens then. I hope he comes back, because we need all the people we need. And even me doing this by myself at this time of the day sometimes don't feel like I'm recognized or something. Oh wow, they don't know I'm here. Isn't that cool? Hi guys. What What about your credit? How many credit cards do you have? Do you know if you're overextended? Because Scientology has done that to you. They've overextended you. Let's see. What can we see? Do we see anything? Or do we just see reflections? Should have worn my sun hat. There's nobody back here. Why isn't there anybody back here to keep an eye out for me? You figure you would, because you wouldn't want people looking at me and seeing that people can be normal on the outside. There must be a meeting in progress. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I can't do what I wanted to do now, but I can do it 2 doors down because there's nobody in there. So let's see if I can get up. Oh, the windows are open. That's interesting. Let's see. Aha. Anyway, so how is your day going, people? My day is going interesting. Try to get out here at 1. Welcome to timedysmorphia.com. Didn't get to do that or be that. And I'm not yelling at a vestibule with nobody there. So, oh God, I'm not looking at the chat, am I? If I did, I'd be dangerous. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Hi, Fuzz. Hi, St. Louis Scientology Squirrel. What's up, Linda? That's interesting. What? Oh my God, how? You know, I'd be a hypocrite to say that I usually park in I-line, but I don't. So, oh wow. Have you talked to your friends or talked to your family? Do they miss you? Have you talked to your mom lately? How? Wow, you didn't even know I was here. So that's going to be interesting. Were you like concentrating on something important like your financial report? Have you looked up your credit card scores? You know, you can go to your bank and look them up and find out if they've overextended you because they have all your information. That seems to be the thing they turn down the Bluetooth speaker for in the back, is when I start talking about credit cards. So that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go back again so I can read this. Hi, Sarah's Corner. Yes, Daniel seemed to be a very, very nice guy. I hope I'm making an impact too, St. Louis Scientology Squirrel. Because it is hard for some people. I wonder, I couldn't. I'm up to harmless, no good. So, why is my gimbal is making weird, like, vibrations? Oh well. I know that's not for me. They don't mess with me anymore. They got one free swatting and that was it. So, whatever the ambulance. If they ever stick an ambulance on me, I will just fillet them. So don't even try doing the fire department or the ambulances, people, because I will freaking fillet you and put you absolutely everywhere. And I have friends who could do it if I really want to mention what I'm doing, because my friends don't really know or care, because it's just another weird thing Linda's doing. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you wish you were with them? Do you miss your mom? When was the last time you talked to your relatives that are not in Scientology? Do you wish they were with you? It's noisy here today. That's very interesting. It's like the wind is moving just in the perfect way that the traffic noise is coming towards me. It's so weird. Usually it's quiet, but it's a weird temperature. It's supposed to be like 65, I think, and it doesn't feel 65, which is a bummer sometimes because I'm wearing a sweater. Have you checked your FICO score lately? You know they overextend you guys once they get their claws on your credit cards. Do you really want that to happen? They use that against you so you won't leave. Because they say that you can't rebuild your life. You can. It's a little hard, but there are people in sptvfoundation.com that will help you do that. Because they've all been in the same situation that you're in and know how to help you fix things. Hell, even if you came up here and hid behind my car, I'd ask you a couple of questions and then I'd take you home with me and we'd start the process. Because it's not that hard. The real world is nowhere near as scary as they make it. And even if you are a public, you can still come out here and leave the organization, because I'm sure that you're surrounded with nothing but Scientology while you're not at work. So you'd want to get out of those circles and those bubbles and join the real world and do real world things, except besides talking down about people and feeling superior because you're trying to clear the planet. That is impossible. You cannot clear the planet. And when you get clear, your body thetans aren't gone either, so you might want to know. And if you're OT2, OT3 is where Xenu comes in. I was watching documentaries last night. And Xeno's the evil overlord that comes over here and turns this into a prison planet. I don't know why volcanoes, DC-3s, and hydrogen bombs. He just sounds like, I want to get back at everybody. He's the, he is the Schadenfreude overlord, because he wants to see how bad this planet is after he releases everybody and get his jollies off of it. It's got to be a better word than Schadenfreude. Hi, Fluff. Nice to see you here. I'm Misfit76. Welcome to Door Hell. I call this my outside desk, so we're always focusing on something. Not me. I'm not very photogenic for real. And so I walk between the doors and talk to the doors a lot. And I didn't turn off my frickin'... Now I did. I've got so many people on notification that it just constantly notifies me all day long, and it's not a evil sound, so it doesn't bother me. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you wish you could, you can write a letter to your family. It's old school, but you know what? They can't trace it either, because they can't put little air tags in your envelopes before you seal them. So you can actually do that for real while you're walking to work from BART. So you should try that one if you really want to start getting out of the game, because you can't be happy in there. The one who closed the doors did not look like she was content and full of enlightenment. She looked grumpy and like she was at work. So you might want to figure out a way to get the heck out of there, because, it's not good if you're supposed to be if you're supposed to be enlightened and all you're getting is work. And you're tired and you want to do something else, but you can't say that because you'll get in trouble, because this is Scientology. You're supposed to be focused only on your books, your studies, and money. That's a really strange thing. It's like, if you're supposed to be so L. Ron Hubbardy, why do you focus on money? He said not to fundraise, and those phone calls are fundraisers. Because the people should be able to come in by themselves. I mean, maybe if you call them once, it wouldn't be a fundraiser. But if you call them continuously, that's fundraising. And making your people pay for here, the rent. You probably have little picnics and not picnics, but dinners and things, and conversation, and watch the little ones' videos, And that's still fundraising. So you're not going by his dogma anymore. You're now going by the little one's dogma. And I don't understand, because he became big shot when he was in his 20s. He wasn't even fully developed when he started. So, and from what I've heard, he's only a OT3. So he found out about Xenu, thought it was completely ridiculous, and started rewriting the whole thing. I wonder if you guys still have Xenu after all this time, because most of the people who talk have been out for a while. So, but the first thing you should do is go into your bank and look at your bank account and look at the credit cards you have and find out what your FICO score is. It'll help you get out of the system when you find out how much they've been taking from you without telling you, because they're too busy overextending your credit and upping your credit card limits. And they're not even telling you. They probably have been telling you that your coursework is free. Technically, no, but I guess it would be, because you're never paying that money back anyway. That's not in your organization's plans. So it's not good, and it won't get you arrested out here when you decide to fix it. You tell them what's going on, and then you tell them that you want to fix it, and then they say, okay, we'll fix it for you. They will not put you in jail because Scientology screwed up your credit. So, because that was beyond your means. And I'm sure credit card companies know that. There's at least one credit card company who won't deal with Scientology anymore because they have screwed them out of millions of dollars. Because the people who overextended their credit are not paying it back. Hell, they're probably dead at this point, because that's 5 or 10 years ago. And, to be a tax exempt, you have to give charity. You have to help your community. And the only way you guys help your community is by proselytizing over at the Embarcadero Center. That's not benefiting. And going to disasters to hand out flyers is not benefiting. It's not charity. So sorry, people. So, and renting out to charities is not charity. You should give your charity at least internally. Why don't you try that for a change? And give it to your elders and let them quote unquote retire, so they don't have to do light janitorial work and do kitchen maintenance, because that's what they do now when they're not useful enough to go proselytizing anywhere or fixing the books or things like that. You farm them out into really ridiculous menial tasks that sometimes are not healthy for them. So do you really want your own parents, if they're in Scientology, to wind up like that? Or if your parents are in that part of Scientology, are you happy for them? They may have ignored you when you were younger because they didn't know any better, but now it's time to let them get out of here and find a life. And there's got to be a relative somewhere that'll help, or maybe an elderly assistance that'll help. But they do not need to still be doing work in their 70s, late 70s, early 80s, because they're going to work them until they die. And that, if that's the way you want it to be, then fine, but it shouldn't sit healthily on your brain. That one should bother you. So, because you're going to be there in 30 years yourself. And you're going to wonder why you can't help anymore, because they don't consider you your brain active enough to contribute to your own society. Is that the way you want everything to be when you're older? Think about it. Just look at the old people that are in your club and see what they're doing and see how happy they are. Besides the big old hunch that most of them get, elderly people are not supposed to be hunched over. So either there's a big posture problem in Scientology, or they're taking some kind of supplement that's actually making them hunch over. You should maybe find that out. You can go to the library and use the computers, and when you're done using the browser, you go into settings, history, and clear. That's how you can get your information off the computer, and then you can find out why all these elderly people in your club are hunched over. It can't be just from work, because it does cause bad posture when you're unhappy, because you're closed up in yourself. But it shouldn't cause the humps that a lot of your elderly have. So maybe you might want to look that up. because it's just one of those things that should sit on the top of your head and make you wonder, why are our elderly people, besides being worked until they die or they can go into hospice, you guys have a hospice? Isn't that interesting? You guys don't care about your elderly until they're too old to live, and then you put them in a hospice. God knows what your hospice looks like. And then they die. And that's weird. You know, you should be able to let these elderly people have some time, and you should be able to have these elderly people stand up straight. Don't you think? So if you don't want to wind up like that, you should go to the library and check it out. Because unfortunately, I will bet that Scientology has everything else that you work with securityed up, that either A, you can't go on it, or B, they'll know. And if you go to EFF.org, they'll help you look for air tags on your stuff, or they'll give you the information, because they're into internet privacy and internet security, and they have ways to tell you to look for things of people who may be stalking you or monitoring you or something like that. So you might want to try EFF.org to find out where those air tags they have probably put on you, because they want to know what you're doing 24/7 to make sure that you're not communicating with people like me who are not in it to destroy you. We're here to get the tax exempt status off of Scientology and make sure they're not trafficking children or people, because any human who goes across state lines without permission is trafficking. That's the way it works in the United States. So you guys they've been trafficking people forever. So, and 12-year-olds should not be giving audits, especially to adults. 12-year-olds giving audits to other 12-year-olds is ridiculous, because they don't know what they're doing. How about that? And then when you send them to another state without asking them or their parents, because their parents pretty much dropped them off with another Scientology person because they're the one designated to be their mentor, that's trafficking. So do you still want children to go across state lines without their permission or their parents' permission, without their knowledge, is trafficking. It's as simple as that. So if a human goes to another state without being told that they're going, or without giving time for them to make a decision, that's trafficking. And if you take a child and put them in another state, yes, as close as Nevada, without their parents' permission and without the kids' permission, you are trafficking. It's not that hard. So if you don't do that, and you take care of your children and stop making them audit people at 12 and 13, because there are no child prodigies that know how to audit, you should just, keep your children away from this place until they're 18, because they're teaching them how to have no emotion, compassion, empathy, or love for any other human except for L. Ron Hubbard and maybe the little one. Do you want life like that for your children? Freaks. Let's see, time to read. Oh God, I was talking for a while, wasn't I? Wow. Thank you, Windy City Faint and Watch. Oh, okay, there I go. Who am I missing? I said hi, Wendy. Fuzz. Oh, it's Dr. Media. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for me putting in my work. Oh, I've never been to Chicago, sweetheart. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I think I want to go to see what the Sears Tower, so I can, do the windows. See? Papa Cat puts his 2 cents in. We've been going to New York during the weird government things. Yes, I know. See, I'm not the only one who spouts stuff that I've learned on at PBS or YouTube or any of the other, mass places. And last night again, I watched, oh, I forgot. I have a big secret. I'm a pastafarian. I bet you they've been waiting to tell people that. Actually, I think they're afraid because my father's retired 3-letter acronym. So they don't mess with me. And I have a friend who's a SF cop. And I have friends in EFF, which should be a place to be scared, because they did do a lot of things with Anonymous, and they do push computer privacy. I know it says internet, but they want everything to be private. So not even just, or not private, but not being able to be hacked. They're teaching the regular person not to be hacked on top of everything else. So, yeah, so I just bring it here, and most of the time just riff it off. I know the number because I have it like on me right now. And we should go see. I might actually, I don't know if I'll tell you guys what I'm doing yet, because if they don't know, it won't hurt them. So, oh my God, look at that gold backpack. That is so cool. That's me in my 20s, that's for sure. Probably including the boots too. And the boyfriend. Yep, I had a boyfriend who was a vampire. It was fun. So, but yeah, I love history and I love all that stuff. And watching Going Clear again yesterday, oh my God, it's so different. Throwing something away. It's so different when you have been here, I think, because the last time I think we watched it was, no, we watched it before. It was Louis Theroux's Scientology movie. That was the thing. That one was just like, oh my God, our mouths hung open, because it was like, all the things we know now as opposed to what we knew then. What we knew then, it was entertainment. So that, you know, it's just sort of like learning evolution, and then we pay attention to places like Natalie and, you know, things like that. So let's see if they put up, because I want them to put it up today. When was the last time you checked your credit score? When was the last time you looked at what credit cards you have? You know, if you look up your credit score, they'll tell you what credit cards you do have. How much money have you given to this company and not gotten a decent return out of it? Do you understand your coursework? Do you ever have to wish you had been able to ask a question? And if you've asked a question, have you gotten in trouble for it? And you know, ever since the little one joined or took over as Lord God King Bufu, you guys have been playing chutes and ladders, from what I hear, is that you get up one step and then you go down 2, and you get up another step and you go down 2. That was courtesy of Natalie. She said that this morning. It was great. Scientology is chutes and ladders now that Davey's here. So don't you want to look at your credit score and maybe find out if you have a bank account? I mean, they have ultimate control over your stuff right now. And they may not be doing things that are kosher to what you believe is going on. You might want to fix that, or at least start fixing it. If you're a public, you can go to the agencies and ask them, how do you fix this? You will not be arrested for having a messed up credit score. Or, no, I take that back. You will not be arrested for owing all the money that you owe, no matter what they say, that if you come out and they find out about you, blah, blah, blah. No, they'll fix it. They'll help you fix it, because they would rather have 10 cents on the dollar than never getting anything. So think of it that way, is that they'll help you fix your credit, and they will help you get your feet back underneath you when it comes up to things like that, because it matters nowadays if you have a good credit score, at least decent. So if you ever want to buy anything or put a deposit on something that's important to you, like a house, you can do it. Right now, if your credit score is 0, because you can't go beyond, you can't go lower than 0, you can start fixing it by getting a hold of the credit card companies and telling them that Scientology did this, not you, and that you didn't know. And actually you found out because you looked up something on YouTube, or some crazy woman kept talking about it outside of your doors, because for some reason she cared and she was right. So don't you want to like at least try to do it that way? If you leave Scientology, you will not die. You will not get pneumonia unless you already have pneumonia. And then I'd go straight to a hospital. If you don't have pneumonia, you will not get it. And if you do for some weird reason, you'll know and you'll go to the hospital. ERs cannot reject you. They have to take you in. It's part of a doctor's law. So you can go to any hospital around here if something is really bad and go to an ER and they'll fix it for you. And then you can figure out how to pay for it because they will also wait for you and help you do it. So if you want to leave, you can. It does not take a lot of effort because you can fix everything that they say you can't fix. Freaks. See, this is why I'm glad. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? Oh, I did it the wrong way. Yes, I know I'm staring. You guys are staring at it. Oh, no, okay. Let's see. They're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. Go away. Walk in another direction. So, they got that stupid. I said, oh my God, it's that stupid Richard Marx song yesterday. And Papa Cat said, that's Richard Marx. I went, no. So that was funny. So what are we doing today besides telling them things? And you can't look at me when I'm doing something. So I'm sure it'll drive them crazy to know what I'm up to. But I'm not up to anything violent or vandalism. I don't believe in that. I think vandalism is useless. Because I think people block out when they're being vandalized and just focus on what is they're taking down. You know what I mean? So it's not conducive. If you have, positive vandalism doesn't help it either. So I don't think it does, because I think all people do is go vandalism and that's it. So, but it's given me ideas of things, and I should see what I'm up to. Hi, Susan P. Good. That's what I've always done this to people. I've always made them think. My friends are just like, but we stop with the history lessons, Lan. So, I am trying something out. Let's see if this works. Okay, we'll see what happens. And we do the personality test. I know what my personality is, and I'm always berating myself for it. Oh, and Papa Cat, I'm sorry I'm snippy. Hormones. I made him go into the breezeway to see who those people were. They were neighbors. There were two people out there. And then I get a little snippy about it. I'm such a grouch. Let's see now. Do you really believe everything David Miscavige says? I mean, absolutely everything? Do you have to, or do you want to? That's a big question, because sometimes some things sound so out of place, because unfortunately I've seen a few of his speeches, and it's not even like fabulous out of place. It's just out of place. And it doesn't seem that everybody should be believing everything he says, because even the smallest comments actually don't sound right. It's not the big ones. You know they're grandiose, and you know you're not going to believe them, or you know you're going to want to believe them and make yourself believe them. But it's the little things that he says. Yeah, the little one says little things. Sorry, couldn't help it. And they just seem off. If something rubs you the wrong way, you should trust your instincts and know that maybe that's not right. And maybe go to your local library and go on the computers and go on the browser and go look it up. Knowledge is not a bad thing. Everybody says it everybody, activists say it like crazy. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the less that somebody can manipulate you. So you'd want to know these things. I mean, unfortunately, this club takes ignorance is bliss to another level. Have you read anything other than coursework since you started Scientology? Have you progressed anywhere in Scientology? Have you stayed at one level for a long period of time because you're not being that level or the next level? Do you understand why you're not? Have you ever... Well, I know you can't ask a question because you'll get a knowledge report. That should pretty much tell you everything, a knowledge report. And you should just ask maybe the questions to yourself, or write a letter and ask the never-ends that you have in your family. What do they think? And, you know, if you know someone who's sort of not into it, maybe, that is in there, you can have your people send a letter to their house, or you can tell them to email you at a dummy account, which you can get on google.com under a completely different name and be completely anonymous, and have them email you there so you can write to them and they can write to you. Just never, ever, ever go into that account on anything Scientology has given you or anything that you bought that they've handled. You can make yourself completely anonymous in the real world to find out that maybe you can get out. It's a little difficult because you have to build all these things up, but you can go somewhere where you can use a computer that will not chase you, and you can find out things. I know it's not right with you guys to find out alternative facts. That just came out, I'm sorry. That you can find out other facts that they never tell you, because I've heard from an ex-Scientologist that she didn't know a darn thing. She had no clue until she started looking on the internet, and this was 10, 12 years ago. Think about what you can find now. You can find the real truth out there, and you can find out what's really going on with the little one, because he makes a 6-figure salary. As a public, you're just volunteering and still have to have a job if you need to have money for room and board. If you're Sea Org, you're stuck there for however long it is. I've heard that most people don't take billion years seriously, but I have learned that one who did take billion years seriously. No, I told you, I like the little one. I will always use the little one. So there. Oh, did I say hi? I think I said hi, Susan P. Yes, I did, because it's the SID. I was like, what's the SID mean? So, let's see, dead air. Do you want to spend the weekend being happy? Do you want to spend the weekend not stuck at your washing machine or your coursework, or wow, 16 hours goes by real fast when you're not happy and you have deadlines? Wouldn't you just rather go to the zoo or the park? We have a beautiful park, and it's bigger than Central Park. The museum, go see a movie. I don't know if your places are bugged, so I would assume you'd want to get out. Go out and do something, or exist from somewhere else. Just change your purse of the one that you wear to a purse that nobody knows you have, because we all have one of those, and take public transit. Don't take the buses in Oakland, but take BART. And go find somewhere that's really pretty. Fremont has a great lake that you can hang out at and be chased by Canadian geese. See, the Canadian geese have no prejudice to anybody. They chase everybody. But it's fun. So wouldn't you rather be doing something fun this weekend instead of having to do your coursework and laundry and house cleaning and getting audited and cleaning more of your house because it doesn't fit your own standards, which from what I've heard, is pretty much a spring clean every time you clean it. Dust is not your enemy, believe it or not. Obviously, LRH was a germaphobe, and I'm sure the little one is too, so you're having to clean things to bizarre standards that don't even exist in the real world. That's why we call them spring cleanings. You guys do it every time you clean your house. I mean, I understand where the Sea Org people come from because they have to do that. But if you're a public, unless you have somebody coming in every week, I would assume if there is somebody coming in, it'd be once a month. Just clean it for once a month. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do things that don't necessarily agree with the dogma of Scientology, but you're not going to die and go to hell immediately. I don't believe in hell, so as far as I'm concerned, you don't go anywhere. You just cease to exist. So, and if LRH was on his second plane, wouldn't he have come back to at least say hello? But there's other theories that he would come back as a baby. So you still won't even get to know who he is until he's at least 20, because his brain wouldn't have processed until then. So maybe that's what the 21 was about, is that he wasn't necessarily supposed to go to another plane. He was just supposed to go to a baby, and 21 years later, the baby would realize, or the 21-year-old would realize that he's L. Ron Hubbard. Well, it's past 21 years, and unless this guy is fighting the fact that he's probably L. Ron Hubbard, it's not happening. So maybe you should just leave and not rely on 70-year dogma to get you through your day. Or if the little one hasn't managed to change everything since he changed the fundraising aspect, find out what kind of world you're supposed to be living in now, because it might be from the 80s, which is still 40 years ago. Do you really want to live that life? Wouldn't you rather live in the present than the past? Or even the future, thinking about what you're going to do in the next life. No, concentrate on now. Now is healthy for you. Now is good for you. Now is something you should do, because you know what? You're not going to make it up in the other life. You're not here to be miserable for one whole life and then be miserable for the next and the next and the next. And eventually, one of these days, you'll get enlightened. No, it doesn't work that way. So you might want to get out of there and start doing positive things with your life. And I don't mean positive in like devote yourself to missionary work in Africa. I mean yourself, regular middle class life. That's what the world is around here. Mostly middle class. Not everybody in the country is rich and doesn't care about you. So that's something you guys should know too. Not everybody is rich around here. So not everybody's rich in the country. And nobody's going to hold it against you if you have less money than they do right now. Everybody should help everybody buck up and become comfortable with the world. And that's what we're also trying to do, besides get rid of the tax exempt status, because you give no charity out to the outside and give no charity out to the inside. It's not hard to feed the homeless. It's really freaking easy. And if you go there enough, they'll get to know you. And then they'll be actually helping you feed their friends with ways to make sure that everything stays coordinated on their side. They're not going to sit there, beat you up, and take all your food. You've got to do something to help someone else. It just doesn't work that way. You can't sit in there and be in your building and feel superior and look down on everybody else. How did the public deal with that when they're outside? Do you just sit there and ignore everybody and don't speak? Do you ignore the guy who's at the grocery store who likes to talk about what he learned yesterday and ignore him and go, and walk on? Well, you probably do, because he's learned by now that you don't talk to him. So, but do you feel good ignoring people who say hi or excuse me in the grocery store? Does that make you feel better by not acknowledging their existence? Even though they're good people, they say that by just saying hi or excuse me. Is that the way you want to live? Seriously, is that what you want to do with your life, is ignore people who possibly can have more humanity than a lot of other people around them? Just want to know. Just something to think about, freaks. Thanks, love. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Media. Yes, Fuzzy tells me I have to do playlists and finish my links. So I pay attention to her. She is my mod who can do no wrong. So if you get on her bad side, it's not my problem. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, and Papa Cat's supposed to be working. He's working from home today. So he's got me on the background supposedly, but since he's answering, that means he's not focusing. Focus, meow. Hi, I am Rob707. Let's see. Okay, maybe, no, I don't want to tell you guys because then they're going to know. And then they're going to, you know, get rid of what I've started. Okay, well, I know one thing. I can't even show you that. That sucks. Okay, Pastafarian. Yes, I watched a documentary on it last night, and I've actually been belonged to the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster for at least 10 years. Supposedly California will let you wear a colander. I have a really great colander, so but it's also, it's like, it says pirates and the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I can go for the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Eventually I want someone to like knit me one because they're so cute. But they also said that theology is done to what you think. The theology is to everybody's specifications. I'm not big into pirates, so I'll be into, you know, the spaghetti monster and not be big on the pirates. I don't have to because that's what my dogma says. Unfortunately, they're not recognized as a real religion. I am ordained. I'll get a card that says I'm ordained. But I don't think, but this is California. I might be able to get away with being able to do marriages. But I'd like to be ordained. They've opened another curtain. How did they? Oh, actually, I forgot to check. Yep. They opened up. Is this his room? I thought, no, this is not his room. This is that thing next to it. So, time to play that horrible music again. What's your credit score? Do you know? Do you know that your family misses you? Do you know that your friends miss you? Do you know that if you walk out of this door, you're not going to die of pneumonia? Do you know that if you walk out of this door, the church is not going to fall apart? It's statistically impossible. You know, you're great and everything, but they seem to rely on egos. Even though they tell you you're not supposed to be superior, that's all you guys are is superior. So, your ego will just become normal like everybody else's. And you will not be stared at like people do. And people will not say nasty things to you. The people who say nasty things to you are the people who like to say nasty things about everybody. So it isn't specific to you. It's a generalization. So you can't take that to heart. So if you leave here, you'll get a lot of positive energy because people know that this is just a money-making scheme made up by the little one, even though you're not supposed to fundraise because LRH said no. So what are you going to do? Are you going to think about it and maybe do something different, or maybe get a hold of somebody who's out, go to a library and go on their computers there where they can't find you after you leave the purse or the bag or the hip bag or the briefcase at home? Or maybe even change your whole outfit because who knows what's air tagged where. So you should do that and then go someplace where you can find out more about this corporation. Go to WikiLeaks alone, or Wikipedia, go to Wikipedia and look up Scientology. They do write things on there, but if they're offensive, they get reported and taken down. So you should read it and find out what they say about it, because it probably has a lot of real stuff there. I've only read the first paragraph, and the first paragraph had this place down pat. So I don't understand why it's a religious group if all you do is make money. I don't understand how it's a tax exempt group considering you don't offer charity. So you should probably think about that and maybe decide not to be part of this group. Because being part of this group means you're losing your humanity. Don't you like to be compassionate and caring? Don't you want to know what your fellow man is doing and take care of them if something happens? What happens if something bad happens around you? Do you just walk away, or will you help them? If you've got the inkling to help them, you do not need to be in this group, because they don't help anybody. The higher ups show you how to exist in this group, and they're telling you you're only in it for yourself and you shouldn't help anybody. And make sure that this corporation just keeps building and growing and growing. I wouldn't be surprised if the next time the FBI raids you guys, that the little one runs away and goes to some country like in the Bahamas where he can't be caught and stays there. So you should think about that you're in it on your own, because the person at the top probably will not stick around if this place gets raided. And I mean just Scientology, not San Francisco org. That is my opinion. Freaks. And I noticed the music didn't go up very high. Oh God, no. You missed the giggle. No more giggles for you. Let's see. What am I missing here? Oh God. Hi, Pub Groomer. Hi, Audit Golden Era. Okay, did somebody raid me? Hi, No Face. Let's see. Did I say hi, Audit Golden Era? The brain fog is real, so it's a thing. What's a thing? Shut up. And I'm doing clandestine things today that haven't been usurped? No. That haven't been interrupted. Let me just put it that way. So that's a good thing. So that's we'll see if my clandestine things are still existing tomorrow. I actually have something on a poll somewhere as a let's try this. So just something that someone might want to see. That is the ugliest BMW I've ever seen in my life. Who the hell wants gray? Ugh, I hate gray. I hate the gray phenomenon. Let it out, girl. Let's see. Okay. So do you want to play Chutes and Ladders? From what I've heard, since the little one took over, that's what it's been like. You go up 2 levels and come down 1. Go up 2 levels and you come down 1. So now it's not $250,000 to get to OT8 anymore. Now it's probably a good $300,000 or $400,000. But then again, the person next to you will not be paying the same price because they want what you can give them. So if you can't give them what the person next to you can, they will be paying less than you. Isn't that amazing? So even in your own organization, they're playing prejudice. They're playing that card against everybody. Because I would bet you $1 million that the brown people have to pay more or pay less, but still be satisfied because they want to keep you and get more brown people because other people have figured this out. That's why there's one in Inglewood. Did you know that there is an org in Inglewood? And in that spot is actually a lot of poverty and crime. Did you know that? Did you know that they're trying to get people like that? Aren't you having a good day, sir? Are you just ignoring what I said? You know, you don't have to do that for the rest of your life. And they can, even at your age, sir, you can get a real job out here. With your skills in Scientology, you can definitely get an office job out here. And you can start at a job placement place, and they'll realize how important you are. They're actually taking people like us back because they find out that we have better motivation. Sorry. Oh my God. Hi, No Aunt. Yes. Cool. I still don't know that date, but I will get back to you about it because I'm going to Portland this summer sometime. Corn Freak DBSC. Sometimes I think I'm saying something dirty. Hi, you. So, how many members of your family are in Scientology? Let's see. If your parents are in Scientology, are you in the Sea Org or are you public? I made a mistake the other day and I thought that the guy who doesn't talk to me anymore had the BMW, but he doesn't. So how many of your parents put you here or put you in Scientology and then disconnected from you? Not a sure disconnection, just gave you to Scientology and said do what you will, because children are adults in little bodies, which we've gone over many times, that children can't be adults in little bodies because their brain cavity is too small to be the size of an adult brain. So that is physically impossible. The brains don't just shrink until they get older and their heads get bigger. And they're not fully developed until they're in their late teens. So how do you come across that one and how do you justify that one? And treating children like adults is just going to get children to do what you want because you're just ignoring them that they're children. And children are very well known to do things that adults want because they want their attention, because they don't get it. So if you see children acting that way, it should pretty much be telling you that they are children. That adult body thing is a way to just cough up children to Scientology so they can do awful things to them and brainwash them and have them giving audits to 12-year-olds when they don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're just going exactly by the rules that you tell them. And the fact that they're being audited, or they're auditing older people, that is weird. A child should not be auditing. A child doesn't have the brain capacity to do auditing and to do it correctly. It is just physically impossible. So it's time to start treating children like children and don't have parents drop them off to brainwash them, because that's all they're being done. Because there is nothing that Scientology can offer a child that will make sense to a child. So unless your daycare or your drop off is having to do with their age bracket and not having it do with a book of Scientology for children, what then? Do you only put 2-syllable words in this book or something? How do you convince a child to look upon him like a lord, a guy who's been dead for 20 years, 40 years? 86. Oh my God. How do you convince children to do that? Or do they just literally answer you exactly the same way that you told them to? They do that, they are being ignored, or they are being essayed somehow, somewhere, because that's what changes children into little robots, is when something bad is happening in their life. And brainwashing can be considered bad. Have you ever thought of it that way? So if your little sisters and brothers are in the group, get them the hell out. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, crap. I hope it's not on my way to the freeway. You don't see that very often. They seriously don't do that. And he's weaving like a mofo, too. Yeah, no, you don't even get the joyriding cops around here. Because this is, Rabbitville, which is what we call tourist. So, okay, let me go to here. Dazed but confused. Okay. What, that you're from the UK? Yeah, and I think I'm not going to be able to. Okay, that's where it was. Okay. Hi. Yes. Fluffer is British. She stays up late for me. Oh, Fluffer, I still want a copy of the thing you did when you were watching me or listening to me, because it's really cool and I want to, make a full-blown copy of it and put it in my one of my stairwells because I'm trying to put a lot of pictures in my stairwells. I know, I didn't even know that Flipper had dreadlocks until she had her squirrel squirrel suit, the squirrel jumper on. It's so cute. So, did I say hi to No Face? Okay, if I didn't, hi No Face. Let's see. Oh. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? It's like the doors let me do that and then they close. I don't. You know what? Let's go stand on the other side for a little while and hope we don't get our gimbal hot. Because I didn't think it was connected to the outside. So let's see. Because it's been opening a lot. And I hope that I'm not missing people because it's opening a lot. And I hope my camera lenses aren't. No, it's not. Okay, so people aren't, I figured people are coming in and that's what's blowing the door open, but it's not. And they can't touch it because it's a landmark. So they have to put up with it, and they can't lock the doors because there are only 2. And that would be a violation. And then they'd have a fire marshal on their butt for 6 months at least. Because they love to come here. Or they love to come to places that have violated. Thank you! Thank you! And Natalie, yes! Yay! Thank you! Fluff, you rock. Nobody ever... Don't complain. You know what? I've only got 800 people. I've been doing this for 3 solid months, about 5 days a week. So don't complain. People will eventually notice. So are you guys going to do an exorcism? I can actually do them. I'm ordained. Because those doors open for no reason. So you got ghosts. Did you know that? It's not from the other door. That's interesting. So you've got people in there probably messing with you and you think it's us. It's not us. We don't do messing with people much. You know, because we believe in that psychology stuff, and we know that don't want to gaslight people because that'll get them crazy. And that's not healthy. See, Carrie Ann did it now. My not aunt said hello to you, No Face. Is that going to be another cop? He just went in the opposite lane. Hey, meow, go look that up. Cops in San Francisco, and he's weaving too. Something is majorly up. Like I said, I hope it's not on my way to the freeway. I know that sounds so awful, but you know, sometimes you just have to say the things that go on in your head. So let's see if we can... Oh, time to do another walk down. Wow, I'm doing it long today. Probably because I felt guilty because I snapped at Papa Cat. You know, want to put my my time in. And I haven't done my registered landmark plaque yet. It's... I say national. It's not. It's one below national. They still have to keep it up to where it is. So they have to do all the things that they're supposed to do, which is basically replace things like they're supposed to. I don't think they're still able to put like new things to mess up the aesthetic. And they need to fix these windows. I did threaten once to write to, I'll find out, well, I could probably write to the city one, because these windows are going to rot. That's wood. So the paint's peeling and it's on the sunny side. So they're not doing their sunny side maintenance on the windows. At least I think somebody put some bad words or something here, because at least they covered up vandalism, which is good. Or the paint is coming off. These are marble veneers, believe it or not. So they've painted over it. As long as they have to keep it in the condition they did when they bought it. So they're not doing a very good job about that. You know, somebody will get a hold of the city and county, like landmark division, because we have a lot of these here and we're very weird about them sometimes. So maybe there's a like Facebook thing that I can find. I'll have time this weekend and see if there's one for San Francisco and stick them on them, because this is crazy. Look at all that. That's gonna rot off, and then one of these days these window panels are gonna come off, and then they're gonna have to have something to answer to. So yeah, they're getting frisky with the curtains, because this curtain is not completely closed. So that's interesting. So I can't look in there necessarily. Oh wow, that's a bummer. Wonder where. Put another practice one on here, because that's the cool part. Anyway. Oh, okay. Now everything's fine. I see it. So now that they had LRH's room open again, and this one's half open. Am I not allowed to? No, I am allowed. I'm on a public street. I also saw that yesterday with Louis Theroux's. It was a public street. So, and I don't think I can get in trouble for trying to fix their sidewalk mat. Can't do it. Even with my Birkenstocks on. Well, these aren't Birkenstocks. These are just duck feet. Can you see it? That's what I call them. They're comfortable. I'm finding out what shoes are comfortable and what's not. Believe it or not, my Hello Kitty boots from, what day was that? My Hello Kitty boots from, I think, Sunday. They're platforms and they're Doc Martens, so they're really comfortable. I just have to break them in, but they're vegan leather, so I don't know if I'll crack it before it breaks in, because my feet are almost narrow. So we'll see. But yeah, let's see. What did I learn last night? I learned last night that Louis Theroux likes to play Fragile. The guy who did the little one in Louis Theroux's Scientology movie, which you should watch, was perfect. Oh my God, he was spooky. And there was one guy they had there because they were like casting a movie, quote unquote. Looked like Tom Cruise, totally looked like Tom Cruise with his glasses on. Oh my God, it was spooky. And I said that because the couple who went past me. So, do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you wish you were with them right now, enjoying the beautiful daylight out here? It's a little cold, but it's San Francisco, so you know how it is. Let's see. That's the funny part. I keep having to go all the way to something ugly to go look at the... I still can't. I barely fixed my phone. My phone docks were white and I couldn't read them. Finally found it, and it turned them black and I couldn't read them. So, okay. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. See? Everybody said hi to you then. I love it. No face, you get the highs. Hi, David John. I know Bob Coonrod because it's Bob, and that's what my hair is. And Papa Cat always the same. And who's this guy, Bob? Oh yeah. Well, I'm also standing. I mean, it's like this is a business. Hi, Meg Hill. Yes, it's a business. I can look in a business window. That made me wonder when it was the dual use thing, when it was, do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you wish you were with them right now, having a good long talk or having a really great potato salad that your grandmother makes? Do you wish you could be out of this building and walking around? I do that when the doors open because it gets the most, like we've got a, nope, see, I screwed that. We've got a cupola up there and it just echoes beautifully. I wonder who did, that's real gold leaf. Oh my God, look at it, you can see. Ooh, they must have been threatened with a bunch of crap to make sure that gold leaf stays there. Wow. Maybe they did that when they first got it. You know, Davey is weird about his buildings, so you never know. Did I say hi to Meg? Hi, Meg. Hi, Meg Hill. At Meg Hill. I should start saying, oh no, because the names are not the same, are they? Okay, so don't even want to know about this one. Don't you wish you were at home right now? Or at least don't you wish you were in school learning something? Or don't you wish you were working a regular job where you could talk to your boss and ask questions without getting into trouble? And communicate with the person sitting next to you without having to worry about everything you say? This is not the way to live a happy life. You know, having a knowledge report on you be a bad thing is not a good thing. That should tell you pretty much everything about your organization as it is. You know, knowledge is power. Ignorance is not bliss. You should know as much as you can know. You should look up things and read a dictionary, a real dictionary, American Heritage Dictionary, or even go online and look at the dictionaries there and look at the modern dictionary. Find out what the kids are saying nowadays. Going on the internet and learning things. You know, it's not going to make you go to hell if you have a hell. It's not going to make you have multiple lives because you messed up in this one. You know, if you mess up in this one, you're going to mess up on the next one if there really is next one, because you're just human. And we are designed to have problems. We are designed to, as we get older, you know, have nerve problems and grip problems and drop everything constantly. That's for Papa Cat. And just, you know, get older. So maybe if you go on the internet, which is nowhere near as evil as they say it is, there are so many interesting things that are real there. And if you don't think it's real, you can go find someone else and someone else and someone else to tell you if it's real or not real, because that's what people also like to do on the internet nowadays. It's tell you if it's the truth or if it's BS. So it's not like it's an evil oracle that's going to tell you lies constantly and not let you like live your life. The internet will teach you more things than you've ever wanted to know. And if you think it sounds weird, you can go look up and see if it's weird. So, you know, and PBS is your friend. They don't lie either, unless they're making a drama, you know, because then, you know, all those types of things are made up. So if you go and look at the history, and even look at our country's history, what haven't you learned? If you grew up here, there's a lot of stuff you don't know. And if you want to leave, you can go to an adult school to get education and to graduate from high school. You can take your GED if you came here after high school or when you were 17 and didn't get a chance to graduate. In Oakland, their community college gives you free college, so you can get an associate's with that. You can apply everywhere and anywhere. There is a book that's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick of scholarships you can apply for. They have scholarships everywhere. Every club on the planet usually has a scholarship from someone. There are people who pile scholarships to pay for everything they have during school. So you can do that too. If you leave here, you will not die. If you leave here, you will not, be shunned by the rest of the world. You'll be shunned by Scientology because that's the way it's designed. But you will not be shunned by the people who have been declared, because if they were declared early, they were probably declared for a reason. Think of it that way. The people who were declared that you know probably would have taught you a lot more about what's really going on in the real world than Scientology does. Living in a Scientology bubble is not good for you. It is not healthy, and it will not let you progress in life. Woo. Yes, that's why I say it, Sally. I say it because it's like we don't have enough people that come up here once about every other 3 days or something. So I'm trying to tell the people who watch, because by now they should know that, you know, and the OSA watchers and the Scientology watchers and the people in that building, that there are other things to do in this world.
and I keep an eye out on what goes on in the Bay Area so they can go look at it. So it's basically, like I said, it's my outdoor desk. I don't like sitting in a room and talking to a camera, so I love that color, even though I don't like red. Thank you, no face. Yes, I am taking a breath. I am actually well known for not shutting up. I worked at a nightclubs for years, and worked the door, worked coat check. And boy, if anybody just wanted to break in and listen to somebody talk, they'd ask me a question, and then there I go. So that, and Papa Cat didn't even like history before me, and his father was a history professor. His father would be so proud of him right now. So his father loved me. It was great. The totally uneducated one talking to the doctor. He had a doctorate in history, and we'd sit there and have a good old time. And the husband just was like, wow. So, you know, you can do things like that. You don't have to be super educated to know things. You don't have to be super educated to know things. And it's not that hard to get a job out here in the real world in an office to start like becoming part of the world. You can go to a placement agency and they've got the hookup because people pay them to find people that can do that work. So if you get placed somewhere and they like you, they'll keep you. So it's not really hard. And with all of the like brain fog, all of the things you've learned while you're working in an office, be you a public or a Sea Org, you can put that to good use out in the real world, because the administrative work is what everybody needs, because AI doesn't bend to that. You can't keep doing AI programming to something every day because it changes. So administrative will probably be here forever. So you can use those skills you've learned in there out in the real world. You could probably walk 2 blocks and get a job, because this is the tip of the financial district. That is the fancy building you're in. They're the ones who moved to the pyramid kitty corner to you back in 1972. So this is the area. I'm sure there are agencies around here. You can go to the library and check, or use a VPN that you can't track. Go to EFF.org. I bet you they have the hookup for things like that, even on a phone that's blocked. And you can find out a placement agency, and you can go do their tests and get placed probably riddly darn fast. When I hit 18 and went to the real world and went to a temp agency, they had me placed in a week. So they didn't care if I graduated from high school or not. They wanted my resource. So nope, the building is not the shithole. The people in it work for a shithole. Hi, Dusty Soda Fountain. Yeah, Kellyanne has a cat named Soda. He was on her feed yesterday. He is amazing. What is he? Kellyanne, what is Soda? I want Soda to bat my nose. No, okay. Now we go into the history lesson. See all that beautiful scroll work? This building was the original Transamerica building. So this building was built during the Gilded Age. If you go on HBO, they have a series. It's fun, written by the Downton Abbey guy, who it's the Gilded Age in New York. And this was built around there. So that's why it's so fancy. The inside of the building is the same too, because when you buy a building like this, you have to keep it. I don't know how they got that in. That almost makes me think of Willie Brown, because he would let stuff like that in. He was an old mayor. But if you bought a building like this because it's historical, you have to keep it up and keep it in the condition that you bought it in. So unfortunately, they're letting the rust. I wish I could come here in the middle of the night with a magic eraser and just work on the rust, you know, and I wouldn't be like arrested for it, because they're letting this beautiful iron thing fall apart. And I would love to come out here, or even like, you know, get a crew of people to come out here and do a scroll and then go away. I am like the queen of magic erasers, getting things smooth and rust off of things and stuff like that. But I just so want to like finish and reseal this. so bad because it's not them. I don't care about them. I care about the building. You know, they'll leave the building probably in 5 years if we're lucky. So, see, that's the registered landmark plaque. And they're supposed to keep that clean too. But yeah, the condition they got it in is the condition they're supposed to leave it in. So I'm sure it was in better condition when they bought this because you know they've been letting this place fall apart. But yeah, that scroll, because it's a gate, it actually closes. You'll see it tomorrow. They close it on the weekends. You will see it's just beautiful. The whole inside of the building is probably beautiful too because they can't mess with it. They can put, you know, little dividers and stuff, but they can't mess with any of the building. So, and if they did get in trouble, lots and lots of trouble, because we're really weird about our landmarks in San Francisco, because it's the ones that survived the earthquake and the ones that were built right after the earthquake that are important to us, because they're the ones who are usually the most fanciest, is the ones after the earthquake, because we had Standard Oil here and we had a railroad or two here and we had Clorox here, and boy did they build their buildings. So and they figured it out, you know, don't tear these things down. It's also a reason this drives me crazy. The marble veneer has come off right here and they need to replace it, or at least make it look like marble. I looked it up and saw it was a marble veneer. So which is good, because I'm thinking, how much marble can you afford? Look at all this stuff. This is marble. So, but that has fallen off and that needs to be replaced. See, this needs to be fixed. All of this needs to be fixed. So it's just like, they can't let this fall apart. That's why I'm like, somebody knows how to get the hookup on monuments, or somebody is around San Francisco and knows how to get the Facebook hookup. There's got to be a group that go around and drive everybody crazy. Have you seen your FICO score lately? Do you know how much you owe credit card companies? Do you want to owe all that money to credit card companies? Have you looked up what your credit limit is lately? You know, you can fix it if you leave. You can just get a hold of the collection agencies that you probably don't know about. And holding your mail is a federal offense. So if you're not getting your mail, that is a federal offense. So you might want to look into that before your organization gets in trouble, because you're not supposed to mess around with the mail. But if you find out that you are in collections everywhere and you don't have any notices for it, I would get a hold of the collection agencies and tell them what's going on. You'll never get arrested for it, but they will understand a little bit better, and they would rather have 10 cents, 5 cents on the dollar that you owe, except instead of getting no money at all, because the credit agencies want money. The collection agencies want money. And if you can help pay it back, even at a really weird rate, it will bring your credit score back up. And so you can use it to do things like rent apartments, get other credit cards, get deposits on things, buy a house. I know that sounds really weird, but there are condos, tenancies in common they're called, where you can buy a condo in a big house, especially in San Francisco. They really do that to a lot of their Victorians. Now that the recession has hit again and they're not putting their Victorians back into one Victorian again. So it's really easy to do things like that. And there are tiny houses, and there are, you know, convertible flats that they are all getting ready, you know, that they can sell, because, you know, it's getting hard to sell a very expensive place right now here. So, and there are other parts of the country where you can have a job and a house at the same time, or go to school. Can't get a good student loan if your credit's messed up. You can apply for scholarships. There are lots of scholarships out there if you really want a formal education, but you need to clean up your credit, because we are going more and more to online. Paper is causing less and less interest. Sorry, I got distracted. I think someone in Scientology just walked past me because I'm sitting there yelling at the corner. So you can help get yourself out of all this horrible debt that you have, that they put there for you, just by getting a hold of the people who hold all of these things, because they don't want you to have bad credit either, and they want your money. paid back, even if it's minuscule amount. At least then you'll work your credit score up. I had a horrible credit score 20 years ago because I was young and stupid. My credit score is now higher than my husband's. So you can fix it. And especially if you're young and you have the patience, you can fix it in a few, even if you do it the long way, 7 years. So, and if they know that you're making an effort, they actually will help you out, and other places will understand what you're going through. So you can get out, you can fix your credit score, you can get an education, you know, you can get someplace to live. It won't be like Sea Org, or won't be like 50 million people in one house. You know, you can just rent as many rooms as they are in houses. San Francisco was famous for renting out living rooms, bedrooms, and bedrooms. I had 4 roommates at one time in a Victorian flat, but we only had 3 bedrooms. We converted the dining room into a bedroom. So it's possible to do that, not have to live in unlivable conditions like a bunk bed. So give it a thought and think about what you can do. And you can always write a letter to your family and have them respond to you on a burner email account that you can get through Google or Yahoo. Yes, Yahoo is still up. And you can have them write to you there, and you can get rid of everything you're wearing, wear something that they don't know you have, and then go to a library and check it out. Or you can go to EFF.org and figure out what VPN you can use to get yourself to be able to look at the email. Don't ever leave a history. Don't ever think they're not going to know. They will. See, they listen to me during the credit stuff. They just turn the music back on. I love it. They are actually listening to me, I think. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. Osa, they're not. They don't care. They don't care. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. Move on. Oh my God. Hi, City on Defense. Did Zeno leave me? Oh, there you are. I was going to say, I think it's so funny. You're sitting there telling a 57-year-old woman to giggle. And I do. Oh my God, that's horrible. See? Yeah. Seriously, when I first started dating the husband, he got to see how shitty my credit report was. Oh my God, it was in the 50s, I think. And I just worked it out. And like I said, now it's higher than my husband's, which drives him bonkers. So it's possible to fix everything. They're just telling them they can't fix anything. And it's like, you can fix it. You can get an education. You can love your hair. That woman had like white hair and she's like Filipino. It was awesome. It's like, when mine turns gray, I want to be able to make it do that. Anyway, so yes, between the education, there's this huge, like 2-3 inch scholarship book. You know, it's like probably the Peanut Growers of America, stuff like that. It's got the most minuscule scholarships that you can do. Oh, I missed my tour guide. Bummer. Oh, and he's already done too. He's the only one I let use me as a tour, as part of the tour, because he comes by and he'll say, don't talk to her, or don't go in there, or, you know, she's telling them what's what, you know, so it's fun. They are not listening? You mean, well, they're probably watching, they're just not listening. Hi, Zenu for SPTV. You can fix everything that's wrong on your computer. And like I said, credit agencies, credit collections would rather have 3 cents on the dollar than nothing. No, like I said, Xeno-free. They're watching, but they're not listening. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're just watching things. Dead air. Sorry, I was thinking. Because, you know, I have things I can do now. So, we'll see what happens. Did you know that the little one only is up to OT3? Don't you have a problem with that? Shouldn't he be in OT8? I mean, even when he took over in 86. So that's like 37 years, 37 years ago, and he's still not an OT8? He's not very bright then, is he? I mean, don't you think that the person that takes over would automatically make themselves the highest level? Oh, I'm sorry, Fuzz. If it hit a nerve on you. It's something I have to mention though, because they listen to that. Soda is a Maine Coon. Yes, that's what he is. Soda is a big cat and lays on big trees, I bet. Oh, unless you're saying that the credit talk hit a nerve with them. I thought it meant you. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Yes, it does. I noticed that the other day. And I can't remember which day it was, because when music wasn't even on yet. And I'm sitting there talking, and I thought they were going to call the cops on me because the speaker never went on for the first time I was around there. And I always do the credit talk to them in the back door because it echoes probably... Well, they can't change the vestibule. It's marble. The back vestibule is all marble, so I know my voice just bounces off there. Do you miss your friends? So it's like they turn it off when they know I'm up here. I don't think they watch it all the time because they don't turn it on the minute I show up. Oh yeah, they would steal soda. Totally. Besides, they say don't have it out in, if you're living in the suburbs like Taggart or something, too many cars. That's why both the girls are indoors. I lost 2 orange tabbies when I was like 18. Didn't know for like 5 years that they had been hit. Did you stop? So, yeah, was it Maine Society, SPCA, they all say indoor cats are indoors, period. So, yeah, I had a white cat, and I would assume that they would have stolen her too. She was beautiful. So, don't you wish you would be out this weekend and going to the beach instead of doing laundry, doing coursework, catching up with your bills, catching up with what you've missed that is relevant to what you do? Because I'm sure a lot of the public Scientologists send you a lot of information that you're supposed to be keeping up with because you work at an org or volunteer at an org. So do you ever get any time really for yourself? Do you ever get to go out to eat or go sit at the outside of a cafe? Do you ever get to go to a cafe? Do you have the money to do it with? Because whatever you're working at in the afternoon is probably not like full-blown office work that is giving away a lot of money. So you're probably working jobs that don't give you a lot of money, and you're in a situation. That's why you need to get out of there, because you should be making real money to support a middle-class lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with having a middle-class lifestyle. Yeah, I know. Soto looks like a lynx. He really does. Xeno-free, you're bad. Yeah, they don't leave, don't they? I know. Sometimes you just go, you're 7, go away. Doots? Elron liar. Doots? Okay, one more round. I've been on for an hour and a half. Oh my God. Do you know what kind of traffic I'm going to hit? Ooh, 3:14. Fuzz, find me a raid. We've got to go. You should just come out of those doors and hide behind my car. You should know what my car is by now. I could help you start getting the process of getting out of there. Because especially if you're not from the city, you don't know what to do when you come out of these doors. It wouldn't be super hard. And it wouldn't destroy you, but you never know what situation you're in, and you might have to have some help. I help. Most of the protesters would help. We want to help you guys get out of the situation you're in. Ah, okay. So you'll see me tomorrow. I'm done with you today. You like how you put that? I'm done with you. Go away. Maybe I'll get a brioche. No, brioche bad. So there's my pyramid, and there should be a moose on it. There will be one of these days. Moose, 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 moose. Who? You're going to Canada? Okay, you guys. I'm 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Ciao, Bellas. See you tomorrow.